Hello and welcome back to Empyrion, Galactic Survival, Reforged Eden. Apparently, there was a new update that came out recently, War in Industry, but I had to do a PDA refresh and nothing else changed. And I'm not going to start over. I'm not. I'm not going to start over because they had an update. So we're just going to continue on with our questing where we left off. Hi. Welcome back. Okay. So we had just finished our chores with the tal'on, and now we're going to go work on Polaris stuff. But while we do that, instead of talking about the questing, let me just give a life update for who I am and what I've done for the last couple of months when I was not really producing anything. I bought a house and moved. Moving almost killed me because my one friend in town that was available to help me move bailed on me last minute. James, if you're listening and you wish to refute this statement, please call me or text me because you were here for 35 minutes and then you left. And then I had to carry everything else in myself from my truck. Anyway, bought a house. I moved. Moving is exhausting. The closing process was a nightmare. My mortgage broker misrepresented everything about my loan. Well, not everything, but a significant number of things that shouldn't be misrepresented were misrepresented. And there's not really much I can do about it because I signed the contract. I signed it and closed. Long story short, what happened was they screwed up my cash to close. So what that means is that after credits and down payment and all this stuff, you have an amount that you need to bring to title to close. And it was supposed to be next to nothing because of the programs that I was utilizing. As it turns out, I needed to come up with almost $2,000 out of pocket with 3 days' notice, which thankfully I had in my savings. But it was still unexpected and a load of crap. So I did. I closed. And then as soon as I moved into the house, shit started breaking. And so I had to spend the first week here doing minor repairs, but one set of repairs is still underway. I don't really have reliable electrical in my kitchen, which is unfortunate. I can't do anything about it until I get a licensed electrician, which getting a licensed electrician to call you back is apparently next to impossible out here. So that's still on schedule for completion. But then, so I moved in, and then Baldur's Gate 3 happened. And I spent a month playing that. And in a month of playing Baldur's Gate 3, I put in 350 hours in the game. And I'm not at all ashamed of that. Well, I'm a little bit ashamed of that. I'm actually very ashamed of that. That's a lot. I did have a most excellent time playing the game, though. Don't get me wrong. It's a great game. Obviously, considering it consumed my life. And I'm not going to go too much into the Baldur's Gate 3 experience because there's lots of media on that everywhere. It's flooding everything, and I don't want this to be about Baldur's Gate 3. This is about Empyrion, which I will get to eventually. As you can see, I'm questing. I've edited through my quests here. If you are super duper interested in seeing what's going on with the quests, I did not skip past any of the quest dialogue. You can read that or just listen to me. So I moved in, fixed a bunch of stuff in the house, including having to buy new appliances. And Then work has been stable, knock on wood. It's been good. My internet is stable. That was one of the main concerns I had for this location because it's kind of in the country and I needed to get country internet. But then I got my dog a new dog bed, which he really super enjoys. And he gets to hang out with me all day while I'm working in my office. I now have a second spare room in a house that I can have as my actual work space. And then once work is done, I close the door and don't go back. It's great. It's quiet. And my parents visited a couple of weeks ago. My mother brought a cold from my niece and or nephew from Virginia. And it turned into a full-blown flu, which, as you might be able to hear, I'm still congested 2 weeks later. So that further delayed me getting anything recorded and set out because I was sick. And then my cat got sick, and then my cat got better. She had a nasty hairball intestinal obstruction that I had to have manually removed by a very dexterous and well-trained veterinarian. But everyone's fine. Everything's now settled and seemingly chill and calm. And then, as I was recording this on Tuesday the 24th, I thought I'll just edit it tomorrow and get it out by the end of the week. We'll be good. Right now it's the 25th. And then Wildcard announced that they're releasing Ark Survival Ascended probably today. So goodbye, Empyrion. It was nice. Just kidding. Okay. Now that that news is caught up and everything, basically what we're doing is tasks for Polaris. It's the continuation of the main story, trying to find out what happened to the UCH fleet and the Terran forces after your arrival in the Andromeda Galaxy and immediate assault and attack by the Xerax Empire. Polaris has tasked us with chores. They've hired us as a contractor. In exchange for chores, they will tell us about our people. So maybe we can reconnect with our fleet. They have us go out here and we have to talk to the surveyor and then defend the survey post from some Xerax bombers. All of this stuff can be completed. This entire set of missions can be completed in the most basic of ships, which is why I'm in the warp tube. And then once these are done, mostly the Polaris missions here have us traveling a lot, so be prepared. But they're needed for both the storyline, if you care about the story or the lore or the plot of Reforged Eden, and then also to unlock the fancy schmancy turrets. So we've completed our task, and we're going to just nudge you off of the platform here. Perfect. And then we're going to go back to the trade station. And then heading back, or headed back, or we're back talking to the security officer, Paravel. Yeah, there was so much at the beginning. I don't know what to talk about now. I guess we're going to have to talk about Empyrion. I honestly don't remember, aside from quests, what we were working on as far as the base was concerned. But I guess we'll figure it out together. So we've returned and we have our employee ID. And Paravel is just sending us to... He's trying to direct us to where we can find the missing UCH crewmen after the disaster. But seeing as his entire civilization is filled with capitalist bureaucrats, God, I wonder what that's like. Everything has to be done within protocols. So he's just doing his duty without getting in trouble himself. The Terrans were contracted for some tasks, and many of them were taken to the Kennex 62 station in orbit. Several crew members were injured, and they transported with 2 light transports. This is the introduction to the Kennex station, which we've already done because I've already taken you there in prior stuffs. But these quests are expected for you to complete if you're doing like a Haven start or an Akua start without already having gone and made a base or anything. Like, this is when you're low level and you just got your first small vessel. None of this stuff requires a capital vessel. You can do it in a small vessel because you don't leave the system. And then we meet the pilot of the transport vessel, and he is a pretty stereotypical Polaris scumbag. Wanting money for information, but he's not wrong that this is how the world works. What is it? Money talks and bullshit walks. So he tells us for the sum of 80 credits where our people have gone. And teaching us about capitalism and surviving the corporate world of Polaris. A pleasure doing business with you, pal. Okay, so if I'm remembering right, we took them to the Kennex station up in orbit. We already knew this. Paravel already told us this. And we already knew that some were injured. This quest step could have been completely eliminated and I could have saved $80. And then they actually tell us, they give us the coordinates for the Kennex station, which we could have found on our own, but, the quest. So now we're on chapter 4 of our quests. The Cruel Stars. We signed a contract with Polaris. We are a contractor. And now we need to go up to... Nope, that's not where our ship's parked. We parked up top. I'm going to go up to the station. Now, seeing as this is a scenario, this isn't the base game, but they would benefit from some, I think, some voice acting for these roles, for this dialogue. I think that's something that they could put in that would be nice, a nice addition to the module. Okay, off to the Kennick station we go. See you there. So these are pretty cool trade hubs that also offer station services. You can buy fuel, oxygen, pentaxid. You can refuel your ship depending on your standing with them. I don't believe that the Kennick stations offer ammo. Usually you'll get that from the pirate stations if you're friendly with them. You can get them for the best price. Now we have to dock at the appropriate bay. I'm kind of making this more complicated than it needs to be because I suck at parking because I haven't played this game in 2 months. But, you know, it works. And since I'm going out into space, I do want to swap my suit around. I'm not going to be spending a lot of time out in space, but I don't want to be cold. I don't want to have to go inside if I need to because I'm freezing to death. What would I do without you, Ida? Let's hope we never find out. Is that ominous foreshadowing? Could be. So our crew was taken to the medical station or the medical med bay. The OK Medical Suppliers. Are you in OK Health? And they want us to speak to the medical officer. I'm just checking because I made a deposit. I don't have the turret quest yet. So I believe I need 3 million credits. So I got to grind out $1 million. In this, medical officer really genuinely believes in doctor-patient confidentiality, and that's good, because that's important. Emerson is alive, or was alive 10 months ago. After doing these quests, I will say that I am genuinely appreciative that there's not a lot more Polaris quests that are this cumbersome. But, you know, War and Industry just came out, so who knows? Maybe we've got more 32-step quests to do for them. Wouldn't that be fantastic? And this poor guy, apparently a human, working aboard an alien station, doing customer service. I really feel for the guy. But apparently he's not one of our humans or our, UCH people. So we're not here to rescue him from his life of servitude with Polaris. Though it would be nice. So he confirms the people brought aboard the station. You have to pardon my dog. He's sleep barking in the background. It's so cute. He's kicking his little legs. So he directs us to go to Polaris Security upstairs and warns us about bribery because of pirates. I don't even know if I want to play Ark Survival Ascended. I'm really mad about the existence of Survival Ascended in the first place because we were supposed to get an Unreal 5 update for free, but because Snail Games is a corrupt pile of shit, instead of giving us the free upgrade that they promised, they're going to be charging $60 for it. This area is for Polaris personnel only. Hey, okay. Like, we are Polaris personnel. We're a contractor, my dude. So they've warped out of the system, a long-range warp. And Polaris won't tell us where they've gone because it's classified. I don't. Can reconfigure Polaris communications equipment. I guess. Okay. Cool. So they've got broken equipment and they need me to fix it. This is in line with all of the trading tasks that I did. It's all coming back to me now. How Polaris is so bogged down in its own bureaucracy that they can't get anything done without independent contractors that they pay vast sums of money to. That's me. Okay, let's go do it. Head to the flight deck. Okay. Seem like a lot of humans working there. Even though they've never seen the UCH people. They can't tell me where they've gone, but they seem to be right under my nose. Unless the fleet brought in a bunch of civilians. Okay, so Ida's the one that wants us to check out these communication satellites. Is that the whole truth? I am not lying to you. That's not an answer to my question. Okay, to the ship, and then many flights, lots of flying around. Edit it out. So there are 6 communications relay satellites in this sector. And thankfully, we only have to go to 3 of them. I know this because I've done this quest before. The first one that we find here, the arrays are clean. And then they grant us access to the interior. And the oxygen station, which is nice. I'll take some free oxygen. After my experience on the Dread Start, I'll take the free oxygen. Nope, other side. Come on, Winslow, turn around. I do like how they design these satellites, though. Except for the fact that right here where it stops you in the quest is apparently a hotspot, and I'm baking alive. Waiting for it to continue with its dialogue. Okay, so this relay is fine. Let's go on to the next one. Wait, no, gotta go to port relay. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay. And now we can go on with our voyage. Relay 588. Same task as before. We are going to check the arrays. I would like to build solar arrays like that for my station when I get there. When I get to that point in my adventure. And I know at one point there's some combat. And I don't want to be in my baby spacesuit. I want to be in my reinforced spacesuit. So I'll make sure, I just have to make sure to spend less time outside. Because even though the things that are popping up are low level, they'll one-shot you, which is stupid. But, okay, so in the relay, gotta check the mainframe console. Data loss 41.8%. That's a lot. Can I fix it? Could you imagine if they'd made us go to all 6? Oh, man. That would be like the base Empyrion questing. That would be like the top brewery. Ugh. I'm so glad that the brewery is not in Reforged Eden. I mean, it's here, but they don't have any questing for it. Because that was stupid. Beyond description. Okay, so he gives us the access to the core. It'd be super funny to just plant a bomb. Just push 5, Winslow. Put a bomb on there in the core. Just do it. It'll just be a little bit of rep loss, Winslow. Just blow up the core. Yeah. It's funny. I'm sitting here recording this, and my pets are looking at me like, who are you talking to? I'm talking to the internet. That exciting? I think it's exciting. Communications relay 451. Okay. One more relay to go to. Finish the mission, Winslow. I'm sure there was something super important that happened there while I was concentrating on my pet. It's probably not important. I mean, maybe it's important, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Something, something, Ida, something. I don't know. Okay. Off to the final relay. The docking lights are red. This is the one with combat. Okay. 13, 12. Don't be a goddamned hero. Don't tell me how to live my life. So hitting this console here or going up to it triggers the next part where there's an intruder alert. There's pirates. Their spawn is poorly managed, and the pirates like to spawn behind you with shotguns. So don't get shot in the back by pirates. Okay. Go into the computer core. Oh, they were coming from my ship, the glorious warp tube. I mean, if I was going to steal a ship as a pirate, that's how I'd do it. Chief is very happy that we're able to do the repairs, even though I actually don't know how to do the repairs. Even though I'm an engineer. I guess I could get an early dinner. Yeah, just sign off comms for a bit. Just totally sign off comms for a bit. Yeah. And then we got a damaged satellite out here in space. It's a UCH satellite. This is Ida's satellite. Behold Ida. Okay, I've got Ida's brain in my backpack. Got a couple of interceptors on the way. And their AI is kind of broken. They don't really attack anything. And I'm not going to stay close enough to fight them because I don't really care. I don't really care to fight them. I mean, I'm not going to loot them or anything, so they can just stay there. And back to 451. So if for some reason you do need the door codes, yes, they are saved in your PDA. Also, I keep turning inertia off on my ship because it's I, and I keep thinking that it's I for inventory, but it's tab for inventory. So then I keep crashing into stuff, and I'm glad that there's no kinetic damage to ships because I would be screwed, like in Space Engineers. Okay, I've got Ida's core, and it's plug and play. And so Ida's AI core is now fighting with the station's AI core to. Sorry, my brain literally just stopped there. Hard stop. With the station's AI core for control. Sigma? Who's Sigma? And the station AI is literally begging me to help. It's an intelligent creature or being begging for their life. And I am doing nothing. Yes, let's replace those files. Running hello world.ida. Uh-oh, self-destruct. Set humor to 75%. Hello, Ida. So basically, we just hijacked some Polaris satellite for Ida's new base of operations. I killed a fellow intelligence to save myself. By the laws of man, that would be called self-defense. That's not how it works, Ida. This was their house, and you don't walk into someone else's house, and kill them and call it self-defense. Oh, Ida. Murderer. I've had a murderer in my suit's brain this whole time. And that's okay. So it tried to reach out to Sigma, and Sigma responded. And we need to find out who or what Sigma is. I only dropped the core that one time. All finished here. Nothing new to report. Okay, I'm going to close everything. Got to secure Ida's core. That's 1332. And then 1312. Don't want pirates getting in. Okay, Ida's secure. And we're going to go back. Boop. Parking. I can parallel park. This isn't parallel parking. I'm just stating that as a matter of fact. New. Okay, we go back in. Cool. I'm just gonna take control. Surely nothing bad ever happened from an AI taking control of everything. Could have sworn there was like movies about that, or a whole genre of sci-fi about that, about how that's bad. But you know, we're also great and heroic. I mean, I will be working for Polaris in some capacity in the future. I do kind of wish he could come back to Chief Mason here and actually use him as your point of contact for like repeatable missions. That would be a smart thing to add in for pay. Like pull up a window to have you see a list of Polaris subsidiaries that are trading and that need what, and you could plan out trade missions from there or deliveries. That would be fantastic. Okay, so we've finished Polaris quests. The next set of quests in Chapter 5, Offworld Grave, we will be looking at next time. Where we head to the moon. Is the moon haunted? Isn't it always? And we will finish up the main story quests next time. For now, I want to talk to this information broker, but Ida won't shut up. So we're not going to talk to him. So all of that, and we still can't access the files. And Ida can't break into them while Sigma is watching. So we're going to have to go through... we're going to have to go do something else. She found surveillance images of the crashed Titan, which was the flagship of the UCH fleet, located on a nearby moon. So perhaps we can find some information in the crash sites. And that is going to be what we will get into next time. I am going to be switching out my ship for the Sunat Infiltrator because there is some ship to base combat, basically. But for now, I'll wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching and your patience while I sort out my life. I'm glad to be back. We'll see how good we do in the future. See you next time. Bye.